Take two. Okay, so hello everyone. Um, I started. My name is Natalie, by the way. I started this channel um about a few months ago. Um, doing what I eat in a day. Um, videos showing you what I was eating. To help to improve my health, my body. Um, um, I guess I'm going to try my best to keep running this channel. But about actually a few days ago, Friday, I was approved for SSDI. So I definitely will now be trying to commit to doing these videos. Because what else do I have to do? um, Besides, of course, eating healthy and exercising and meditating as best as I can so that I can get my health back on track. So yes, more about me. I do have a medical condition. I don't want to say exactly what it is yet until I feel more comfortable. But yeah, I have a medical condition. It supposedly is not curable, but um there have been people who have said, like, eating a diet, a certain type of diet can help you to improve your health. And so that's what I'm following. And it has improved my health quite a bit. Of course, I'm still not fully recovered yet. So it'll take some time, obviously. But yeah, hopefully things will get better soon. Um, what else do I want to say? Um, for Social Security, for anyone who is curious as to how did I get the SSDI, I did get a sorry, I did get a lawyer. Um, you don't have to pay for the lawyer right away. Like, they're not asking for you. Obviously, lawyers, they understand you're disabled. There's really almost no way for you to pay because you can't work. And even if you can part-time work, it it's going to be very little money in with that part-time job. So with I actually have gotten two lawyers. The first one was bad. It was a lawyer nearby my area, and I don't think I ever communicate with that lawyer. I don't know who he was or anything. I just know that he was a lawyer for Social Security disability insurance, and there was no real communication. It seemed like the idea was, oh, I have to get the paperwork in, and that's it. They don't do anything, and then oh, then I had to pay them. Hell no. This is your job. You do the job, then I pay you. Okay. So anyway, yes. I got Social Security. Um, for those of you wondering, but wait a second, how would the lawyer get money for it if you're not paying them right away? Right. You pay them once you win, if you win the case. See, and that's where they have to do their job. Yeah, so that first lawyer that decided to be lazy and tell me to do the work, yeah, obviously that's the reason why he got fired. Anyways, my second lawyer, he ended up being a lot better. I got his information from Allsup. Um, Allsup is I no, that is a good question. No, I don't even know what to say Allsup is, but basically it was a website. You can get in contact with them, and they help you to get a lawyer that can represent you, and then also they help you to get the money you need for Social Security disability insurance. Um, so yeah. Uh, but yeah, I with Social Security disability insurance, you don't you don't have to pay the lawyer right away. The lawyer will get the money if you win the case. And that's why that first lawyer got nada. Yeah. So yes, technically it is the lawyer's job to make sure that you win this case because he's not going to get paid or she's not going to get paid if they don't do their work. Um, but yeah, so that's what it was, the agreement with the lawyer. Um, he works on my case. He gets my medical information. Um, he contacts the doctors. I think there was only one time when they, because they were having difficulty even trying to communicate with the doctor. If I could try to communicate with the doctor, I try my best. I communicate with them online. Um, and then I gave her as much information well, I say the legal assistant. So I gave the legal assistant as much information as I can, but I couldn't really do much. I was at home. Um, but I gave her like the phone number where she can get the medical records, and obviously they got the medical records, and yeah. So it was that. Oh, I had to answer some questions too through Up and through the lawyer. Um, yeah, questions about my health, about how I'm doing, what I'm able to do, what I'm not able to do, things like that. Um, so yeah, and that was pretty much it. It was when it got closer to the date of the hearing. So for me, it took me 3 times before I finally got SSDI approved for SSDI. The first 2 times I was rejected. First time, um, I mostly did it on my own. Again, I had that first lawyer who didn't do anything, and you know they I believe they state saying that I can do sanitary work, meaning like work on the computer and stuff. Um, of course, I couldn't at that time because my hands, um, it I couldn't type, like my typing speed was 12 words per minute. Yeah, 12 words per minute. And I don't know, like I don't know if you guys have seen or read like what the job requires if you're doing like an online job and stuff. But a lot of them expect 40 words per minute, 60 words per minute. Like, yeah, you better be able to type. um, so there's no way I could have done that. Oh, and then the other thing was that at the time my hands were hurting when I type. So if I typed fast, like normal, typing fast, after like maybe 5 minutes, my hands started hurting and I couldn't type and my hands would get stiff. Like even now my hands get stiff, but it's slowly it's getting better. Very slow. But yeah, it it hurts to type for me. So I couldn't do it. And so then I had I signed up for SSDI again. Um, they had more questions. They asked about my functioning, like what can I do? questions. I think it was more of those questions. Oh, and then they wanted me to contact the doctor and have the doctor fill out things, um, answer some questions as well. So that happened. Um, got rejected. And then after that second time, that's when we asked for the hearing. By then, I had my second lawyer, and he, yeah, he communicated with me. He communicated with me, I think, about 2 weeks before the hearing. Um, so for the hearing, they actually want you to si- to I can't talk. They want you to send back a letter saying, "Yeah, I can do this, I'll be there." Um, to be honest, I didn't send the letter. I didn't send the letter. I got too lazy. And plus, it's complicated understanding how to fold that thing and stuff. I couldn't get it. And, time kept passing by. I was doing things. And yeah, I didn't send the letter. So I didn't send the letter. They did, like, I think a month before the hearing, they did send me a letter saying that I better be at the hearing. Technically, I better be at the hearing. Um, they told me that I can call this number to inform them, letting them know, like, hey, I'm going to be at the hearing, which I did. That I did. That was easier. They should have done that in the first place. I can call a number and be like, yo, I'll be there, instead of making me send a letter and figure out how to fold it. I'm sorry. But yeah. Um, so that was that happened. And then, like I said, 2 weeks before the hearing, my lawyer had a conversation with me, asked me some questions that they would ask at the hearing. Um, we practiced on how I would answer those questions. It was very short, like maybe like 10 minutes, maybe 15 at most, because he's doing most of the talking than I am after that. But yeah, it was that. And then um 2 weeks later comes the hearing. My hearing was on a Friday in the afternoon. And if I remember correctly, the judge was it was a phone hearing, by the way. I said I was willing to do video or a phone. I don't mind. And the judge decided on a phone. So it was the judge, my lawyer, me, and then there was someone else as well. It was someone else, I think, recording the conversation, what was going on. I guess taking notes and stuff. I forget. Um, but yeah, so those were the four people in the hearing. Um, the judge talked to the lawyer, asking some questions about, like, basically forms that should have been sent to him, to the judge, to determine, like, my ability and things like that. Asking about those forms and stuff. And then he talked to me. Now the funny thing was that, so I don't know if anyone can tell, I am Latina. My family comes from El Salvador. I was born in New York, though. Right now, I live in Pennsylvania, by the way. Um, and uh, the judge, when he was asking me about if I'm going to be honest, technically, he said, he worded it in a way that I was like, huh? Like, what? And I have a master's degree, FYI. So, like, I kind of, I should be able to understand, but he said it in a way that I was just confused what he was trying to ask me. Um, the lawyer then said, like, he said, like, oh, well, sir, she speaks Spanish and English is not her first language or something like that. Something to that effect, FYI. Um, it wasn't exactly that, but you know, sir, she doesn't speak English very well or something. And I kept my mouth shut, but in my back of my head, I was like, sir, I know English. Like I was born here. Um, but the lawyer, then the judge, I mean, sorry, the judge kind of like dumb it down for me so I can understand. Spoke in, what is it? What's the term I'm trying to find? L- layman? Or I can't figure out the term. I'll figure it out later. But yeah. So the judge talked to me. He asked me questions about my ability. How long can I stand? How long can I sit? How long can I? What how much can I lift up? Like the weight of things. Uh, um, and how long can I walk? Like how much distance can I walk? And then he asked me about my fatigue. I think the fatigue is what won me over because he asked questions about like sorry, I'm trying to think. But he asked question about the fatigue, like how often do I get tired and stuff and things like that. And so that's when after that he said, okay, yeah, I approved her getting SSDI and things like that. And then I talked to my lawyer. Yay, we won. Um, and that's about it. I am still waiting back to hear. From what I understand, it'll take about maybe 3 to 5 weeks, maybe longer, 6 weeks. I have no clue what's the next step. I'll update y'all on what's the next step. But yeah, that's technically my story. Um, hopefully you guys will be watching my videos and I don't know. I'm at this point in my life, like uh, by the way, before I signed up to get SSDI, I actually was a teacher. I didn't work that many years as a teacher though. I mostly worked as a substitute teacher more than anything else. Um, yeah, but I was a teacher. My degree is in adolescent education in English, so it was 7 to 12. But um, I think 2 years of working as that, mm, things changed. I was communicating with a coworker of mine about help because my second year wasn't good. I ended up having to move to two different schools in those first 2 years. Yeah, so that's how bad I was. And this friend, she told me, "Why can't you be a ESL teacher? I mean, you speak Spanish, don't you?" FYI, my Spanish is not the best. I'll be honest about that. Um, my Spanish is more intermediate. I'm trying now to improve it now that I got all this free time, you know. I'm watching videos on YouTube in Spanish and listening. I Problem is I also don't have anyone to speak to in Spanish. My roommate, he's a man, an American man that does not speak English. I mean, does not speak English. Doesn't speak Spanish, and he's very big on not speaking Spanish. And oh, this is America. Why don't you speak English? He's a good friend, by the way. Before anyone gets hard on him or anything, he's a good friend. He actually was the one that told me to go for SSDI. He himself is on SSDI, so yeah. But yeah. Um, I can't think what else I wanted to say. But yeah, he was the one that told me to do that, so I decided, okay, let's see, because I actually did try to work. Um, I wasn't feeling that well in the beginning. Like I was horrible. I was so like I was so weak. I walk with a cane, by the way. So that's how bad it is. In the beginning, yeah, I had to use the bathroom a lot. Um, I was depressed. I was really depressed. I was crying um almost every day. I was miserable in the beginning. I have a book that where I wrote notes, so I can I'll another time I'll read up on that notebook and see what other things I had. But yeah, I barely could walk at the time. I still barely can walk, but it's getting better. It's hopefully getting better. Okay. But yeah, I'm a little absent-minded. I don't even remember what I wanted to say or anything. I'm just going in circles, I guess. I really apologize for that. And I'm apologizing for moving my hand a little too much. I guess that what happens when you're a little nervous. Um, but yeah. Um, that's somewhat my story. If I find more things to talk about, I'll mention it to you guys. But yeah. Um, I guess I'll join the YouTube group. I mean, I can't teach. Oh, now that I remember. Okay, so back to that story about that friend that told me to be a ESL teacher. So I decided to work as an ESL teacher. I worked for 2 years as an ESL teacher for elementary school students. And I loved it. I loved it. I to this day I still wish I can go back to that. But right now I need to recover. Who even knows I'll ever be able to go back to that? I don't know. I mean, I'm doing this video, like, and I don't know how long it'll take for me to feel better, if I'll ever feel better enough to teach as an ESL teacher. I don't know. Um, but for the time being, I'll do this and we'll see what happens. I don't know. Part of me think like doing this might get me rejected from ever teaching again. Like, I don't think any school wants to have a teacher who's known to have been on SSDI or anything. Yeah. And even if the teacher got better, you know, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I have for now, and that's about as much I can say to you. I hope everyone has a good day and take care. Bye.